Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
Well, I walk into the room.
All righty, we're coming in here. James Comey was indicted by a grand jury, not by President Trump. And President Trump has signed an executive order for the death penalty. What a great day this is.
Those two stories aren't related.
I was going to say, yeah, it tie those together.
They are together.
There was enough of a pause.
I'm a conspiracy theorist. I am. I think there is a connection. There is a connection. Y'all think there's a connection?
Well,
Not
as it relates to Comey.
There's a connection somewhere. Take it from me, man. Take it from the Southern redneck. Yeah, there's a connection. Yeah. What do you think? I heard you and Pat, Gary, Harry the horrible. He said he didn't see any violence coming from the left. Did y'all hear him say that?
Wow.
There's no violence coming from the left. And Pat, you agreed with him. Well, yeah, you have a point there.
I did not agree with him. He's got those liberal blinders on, Stephen.
Oh.
You need to stop that because your little cadre of posters here seem to think that I'm the problem, right?
I just think that. I think Harry South and La La Land. If you don't think we're at war right now, I'm telling you. I mean, it might not be hand-to-hand combat, but I'm telling you, we are at war. I'm gonna stick my guns to that, or stick my. But don't say guns.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
Good. Just add to the violence, Stephen.
Your morals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see any violence coming from the liberal side. Do you see any violence there, Loophole?
Can't. The windows are closed.
Yeah, the windows. Yeah. Oh well, so what do you think, man? We got Comey has been charged with,
making a false statement, obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Yeah, faces 5 years. He's the first former FBI director to be indicted, like ever in the history of our country.
But hey, his heart's broken though. That's cool.
Well, that's a shame. But to illustrate Steve's point, it was a federal grand jury indictment.
Did y'all see his post where he
got Loophole? I got a question.
Talk to me, Goose.
How did they indict him for lying to the Senate? But the prosecutor also wanted him indicted for making a false statement, and they rejected that charge. How did they reject making a false statement when he's indicted for lying to the Senate?
He was charged with making a false statement. And obstruction of a congressional proceeding. Those are the two charges.
We can't
lying to the Senate was the charge, and obstruction of justice.
By my news counts, it's making a false statement and obstruction of a congressional proceeding.
No.
So you're saying they didn't get him for lying? What are you saying they didn't get him for?
For lying.
Well, that's the same thing, ain't it?
Well, they got him for lying. They didn't get him for making a false statement, and they are the same thing.
Well,
my understanding.
Maybe what was the false statement they're saying that he made? That could be it. Maybe he didn't make that false statement that they're saying that he made.
The whole thing centered around his response to, did you authorize leaks?
Well, I don't know, but I know one thing. It'll come out in the wash, and y'all are sitting there saying, oh, I'm going to say y'all because y'all were talking about it. He had the one prosecutor that said, oh, there's not enough evidence, and he resigned. And so then Trump put this other guy in, and he went in there, and he got it. He did it because Trump told him to do it. He was pressured to do it. But they put this evidence that they have in front of a grand jury, did they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So how would that be Trump's lawyer or Trump's pressure? Did he pressure the grand jury?
Hey, Loophole, tell him about the indictment, ham sandwich.
Yes, sir. The 2-page indictment is short on detail, but it says Mr. Comey has been charged with 1 count of making false statements and another of obstruction of justice.
Yeah.
So tell me what
I don't the report I read.
That's exactly. It's a violation.
You got to get rid of those liberal sources, buddy. Actually, this is the BBC
U.S. Code 1001, making false statements to Congress.
Yeah, which I believe was the code section that I had announced a few weeks ago that would be the bottom of all this. But that's just me. What do I know?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Pat.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, even the New York Times, and we know how reliable they can be. Oh, maybe that's why you thought it wasn't true, because the New York Times said he was indicted on 1 count of making a false statement and 1 count of obstruction of congressional proceeding.
But did y'all? I mean, I got this. I need to start digging this stuff up instead of sitting here winging it off the side. Comey got on there. Did y'all see the video where he got on there and said, "Oh, they're weaponizing the justice system,
Yeah.
and we are so
Yeah.
sad. I'm going to cry."
Yeah.
Is that not what he's there
Heart is
for?
broken.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's there. That's exactly why he's being called before Congress.
Yeah.
Indicted. Excuse me. This isn't a call before Congress.
So-
This is indicted before a
so
criminal court.
You're not denying that this is politically inspired, right?
I do not think so. No, I do not think so. Yes. I think it's politically inspired because the
Thanks.
politics on the left tried everywhere in the world to frame Trump into a bad guy.
And was that politically inspired also?
That was.
Yes,
Yes,
that
it
was-
was.
Okay,
Now
so
we
we object to that kind of stuff, but we're okay with it when it's the other way around.
Whoa. Okay, let's the other way around now. Let's go the other way around. So now that we got actually people in the administration that are doing laws. Do we have laws, Pat?
Do we have laws?
Yes.
We are supposed to be a country of laws.
Okay,
yeah.
so when the left before took Trump and tried to make an example out of him with all these false accusations like the Russian collusion and all that, was that against the law, Pat?
Probably.
Okay, so now we've got an administration in there and saying, look, they broke the law. We're going after him. So Trump did not break the law. He was no Russian collusion whatsoever. And now that the shoe's on the other foot, they are going after the people that broke the law. Is there a problem with that?
We don't have a verdict that this is guilty.
Yeah.
All we got is an indictment. Indictment doesn't mean that anybody's guilty.
That's true. Yet,
Yeah.
Okay.
wait for the trial.
Okay. Do we have evidence maybe that this was true?
I don't know. When you got one prosecutor, federal U.S. attorney that's resigning because there's not enough evidence to indict, and then you got the hired henchman from the campaign that comes in to replace her. Is there enough evidence? I don't know. That's for the jury to decide when it
Okay.
goes
So
to.
did the grand jury say there was enough evidence?
Apparently they did, since there's an indictment, but that grand jury indictments are not a big deal, given that any reasonable attorney can get a ham sandwich indicted.
Oh, my family and I have known for years that the cost of standing up to Donald Trump. Oh man, we couldn't imagine ourselves living any other way.
By the way, Pat,
Yeah.
the reason I've been quiet for the past few minutes, I needed to fact check something. That ADA didn't resign because he didn't think that there was enough evidence against Comey. He was talking
Why
about
did they resign?
Letitia James.
Oh,
Completely unrelated.
It was both of those issues.
don't. He just fact checked it, Pat. He fact checked
Yeah, I
it.
know.
A U.S. attorney resigns amid pressure from Trump after sources say he refused to charge New York Attorney General Letitia James.
Okay, here's
Period.
let me ask you this question. What leg does he have to stand on? Okay, so he is on this, and one thing that, and I kind of followed this just a little bit, so this ain't mine, but anyway, he says, where is it at? That he wants the Democrats, what is it, to vote. So that's all he can do is stand and hope that the Democrats on whatever will vote to free him, I guess.
But
But
your,
he
on the
has-
jury.
your argument, Pat, that doesn't make any sense to me, because you're saying that the previous prosecutor said that there wasn't enough evidence to indict, right?
To indict.
But there is enough evidence to indict, obviously, because they just indicted him. So I don't understand. So he
Because
was wrong.
a prosecutor who was more willing to do the president's begging.
But
Bring
again,
no, it's not the president's begging; it's the grand jury's begging because they
I
decided.
know,
to
but
indict him.
I'm telling you that a good attorney can get a grand jury to indict anything.
Okay,
that's not true. A and B. Again, we're talking about Letitia James, not Comey. Has nothing to do with this.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay. You can go down that road. That's fine.
He's
Go down the right road.
Go down the road of truth.
Yeah, let's not do
How
that.
dare you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, on the plus side, Donald Trump is converting more and more kids. I'll tell you what, I had a conversation last night with my 14-year-old who always, he doesn't like politics. He doesn't like to talk about it. I get it. He's only 14. But I said to him last night, I said, hey, buddy, Trump just saved TikTok. And he goes, yeah, Trump's my dog. Yeah.
Them young voters are coming,
Yeah,
coming
they're
in
coming through.
droves
They're
now.
coming through.
So what is that? What is the deal with TikTok? I don't even TikTok. I mean, I guess I need to TikTok, but I don't TikTok.
Wait till January 23rd, because until then, it's still owned by ByteDance, and they still have that whole CCP algorithm in there that tracks you, and does all that things. Yeah. But the deal is, under the new deal, ByteDance will still own a minority stake, 20%. They're going to spin off this new American company, TikTok America, or whatever they're going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
ByteDance will own 20%. They have no say in management, no say in day-to-day operations. The remaining 80% will be owned by American companies, mostly tech companies. Oracle is a large shareholder. Oracle will be in charge of the security and in charge of rewriting the algorithm to make sure that it complies with U.S. law. So, and again, all that's supposed to take place is supposed to roll out January 23rd. On January 24th, I will have opened my first TikTok account.
Well, that's the reason I don't follow TikTok, because Packy actually opened us a TikTok account under my account where we could live stream on TikTok.
Yeah,
I think we had like 80,000 people watching. We was on there for like, I don't know, 10 seconds.
We got kicked off immediately. Like, I mean, it was like we'd go on there. It was 10 seconds later we'd be
The Chinese government does not approve.
So Packy's got my, pass and the code and all that to get on TikTok. So when I go on TikTok, all it is fat chicks dancing.
Another moment of If Looks Could Kill by Packy Smith.
He lives vicariously through me. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Oh man. Hey, I think Andrew Clyde's supposed to call in today. I hope so.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Maybe
have
we
a
can
question.
ask him. Yeah, maybe we can ask him about the just reported 1 hour ago that the FBI, according to Yahoo News reported that the FBI had 275 plainclothes agents in January 6th crowd.
Yeah, even though
Wow.
they formally said that there were none.
There were
And
not
then the
none.
Biden administration admitted that there were what they say 24, I think is what
Something
they
like
said.
that. Yeah,
And it turns out
small
there was
number.
a lot more.
Oh,
He forgot a zero.
yeah, we'll ask him about that.
Yeah, I want to ask Andrew Clyde about this disturbing video that I saw about Muslim extremism. This one guy says, by bullet or by ballot, one way or the other, we will have jihad. We will take over. The new plot is to participate in the democratic process. The democratic process is the new jihad, is the quote. So they are infiltrating the United States from within, electing them. They're getting elected to leadership positions, and once they're there, they can now change the laws.
All right, well,
That's what happened in England.
let's get to a quick break where we can get on the other side, because we got to kind of watch our time, because we got Andrew Clyde supposedly calling in today, hopefully. So, all righty, we're back with you. Everybody's doing good out there. And according to Alex Jones, it says allegedly a political bombshell that the FBI director James Comey and Soros operative
Letitia, just call her Tish.
Tish James to be indicted in the next 5 days.
Wow.
So that's from Alex Jones. Do you believe anything Alex Jones says, Pat?
Nah.
If it don't come from Harry Vaughn or the Biden administration, you're out, I guess, right?
Yeah, I don't think Alex Jones has got much credibility, does he?
How can they not indict her?
Well,
Got to ask the jury.
he's right about the indictment coming. I mean, the president's ordered the district or the U.S. attorney to indict her. She's going to get indicted.
Well, I mean, she'll only get indicted if the grand jury comes back and votes to indict her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But does she not break the law? Did she not marry her brother? No, who married her brother?
That was Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, we need somebody in there like that.
You got to keep your enemies straight, Stephen.
So many.
So did she not break the law? According to what we're
Tish.
Letitia James.
What would the charge be?
Wasn't it to do with
Mortgage fraud.
mortgage fraud?
Yeah.
And didn't Big Fanny, ain't she on that too?
I'm not sure I know what the mortgage fraud was.
Didn't she claim that she had property?
Primary residences in multiple places.
Yeah.
I thought that was the person on the Federal Reserve Board.
There are a
Oh,
whole
yeah.
lot of people. Yeah, no. Tish James is being investigated for mortgage fraud.
So is Bissett being investigated for the same thing?
I'm glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
Bissett is completely innocent. His mortgages, first of all, he did disclose that they were not first properties. First of all, second of all, his mortgages were extended by the private banking. They were prearranged. He had all of his books open. Completely different beast here that we're talking about. No. Bissett is completely innocent. He did not commit. He doesn't need to commit mortgage fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you get that at?
From an
Alex
interview
Jones?
with Cat Turd.
Yeah.
Cat Turd told me personally.
Yeah.
When I called him.
Yeah. I'm all about that. Saving TikTok, man. What a breaking news.
Yeah. My son is so happy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just made a new
I'd
Mac.
like to see where this Comey thing.
Comey.
Yeah, I want to see where that
I'll
goes.
tell you what, man. My whole issue with this Comey thing is they went, this Russia collusion bill.
Mhm.
That was investigated, of course, by the FBI. The NSA went and looked at it. They had a Senate Intelligence Committee go and look at all this stuff. And what they found, of course, is that, yes, during that 2016 election, Russia was tampering with things and doing stuff and trying to do some psyops and things through the internet and this kind of deal. I mean, that's no surprise. These things go on all the time. But what every one of those investigations found, all of them found, that there was no collusion. There was no actual tie between the Trump campaign and Russia trying to collude to win that election.
Right.
They know that Trump officials met with Russians. That's no surprise. We met with lots of different foreign leaders and different folks. That's what you do as you're trying to ramp up what your government's going to be like. But all of these committees found there was zero evidence of Russian collusion. That doesn't change the fact you have Comey out there and the left-wing media and everything pushing that narrative that, oh, wait, that's what Trump did. He's a threat to democracy. He's using an enemy state to get into office. He's disrupting our election process, blah, 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 blah. That's the real evil here, is that they kept pushing that narrative, and Comey was right in the thick of that too. I mean, this is the same moron that puts the 86-47 out there on the beach.
Oh, that was
He's a bad actor. This guy.
He didn't know what it meant.
And so he helped push this narrative. And this is the kind of the two little things they've got him for here is about lying in that process that helped to promote this Russia collusion lie. That's the issue. And if you want to talk about threat to democracy, those folks are a threat to democracy because they tried to undermine the public's belief in the process by suggesting a major front runner and ultimate winner of an election was using an enemy state to get there.
But they all jumped on the bandwagon.
I know, that's my point. And they kept pushing it even when they know it was a lie.
Clinton,
Look,
all of them
our own government, our own FBI, these same people said there was zero evidence. Yet it's on the flip side of that token, we're out there pushing. They continue to push the lie that there actually was collusion.
And they knew it was a lie.
And they knew it was a lie. Mm-hmm. It's no different than what Jimmy Kimmel was doing the other day saying, oh, yeah, it was MAGA that killed Charlie Kirk. They flat out know something's a lie and they go and say it anyway. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's the reason that Comey's in trouble.
Shot. Then somebody gets shot.
Yeah, this is why Comey's in trouble, because he helped push that narrative.
I think he was behind it. I think all of them. And here's the thing.
Well, they were in fact behind it.
It's
proven.
I've read the emails.
Would you know who paid for the dossier that was used as the bulk of information for the FISA dossier? For the FISA court. Who paid for that?
Hillary.
It was the Hillary Clinton campaign.
And
they failed to disclose that. And that's.
Hey, speaking of people who fund things, did you all read the DOJ is preparing an inquiry into George and Alex Soros's Open Society Foundation?
Really?
Yeah. They're good. They could face. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to let that thing play out.
We don't want to miss you. We got to get to another break because we're about halfway through. We got to watch this time because I think Andrew Clyde will be calling in. So anyway, let's get to a quick break. We got a lot more to talk about. It's been too much fun. So y'all hang around. All righty, folks, we're back with you. And like we said, we got the main man with us that we love. Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Governor? I think say Governor.
Congressman Clyde.
Andrew Clyde. How are you, brother?
Good morning, gentlemen. It is a great Friday, that's for sure.
Amen.
It's been an amazing week.
I guarantee you that. I just want to ask a question. Everybody's making fun of me. Okay, so we got Comey. He's been indicted.
Right.
And then President Trump has signed the death penalty thing. Do you think that kind of coexists? I mean, we all got our hopes up here.
That was a very interesting observation.
But you see the connection, right? Do you see?
I definitely see the connection. I certainly do. I don't know that what Comey did will raise us to the level of the death penalty, but it certainly gets him 5 years in jail, I think.
Yes, sir.
Well, no, we've been arguing about evidence and not evidence and this and that. What's your take on this? Okay, everybody's blaming Trump. Oh, he got these people to push this thing, but the grand jury is the one that actually indicted him. Right. Pat, of course, Pat Malone's like, well, they can get a sandwich indicted, but I mean, you're on that side. You see what's going on. Enlighten us a little bit on this.
I mean, it's pretty evident that that Comey lied to Congress. Mm-hmm. I mean, and when you have the evidence of that, that's just it's pretty simple. And when he lies to Congress, then he has to, he needs to be indicted because people cannot be allowed to lie to Congress. He obstructed a congressional investigation into the disclosure of sensitive information, and that's a violation of our 18 U.S. code. He made a false statement when he said he did not authorize someone at the FBI to be an anonymous source, when, according to the indictment, that statement is false. He did authorize an anonymous source. And I'm sorry, but you can't do that.
Right.
That's just it.
Yeah. Andrew, I've got an unrelated topic that popped up. I was scrolling through X last night, and I came across a very frightening video, and it was of some it was Muslim Brotherhood, and it was other Muslims saying their new slogan is "by bullet or by ballot, one way or the other, we will have jihad," and their new plan is to basically exploit our Achilles heel in America, which is that anyone can run for office, assuming they qualify, and if you get duly elected, you are now in the government, and you have now the right to change laws. They can affect Sharia law if they want. Is it possible at the federal level to pass legislation that bans Sharia law at the state level in the United States?
Well, it's called our United States Constitution.
Amen.
All right. Sharia law and our U.S. Constitution are incompatible.
Correct.
All right. The two cannot coexist and be enforced. So our Constitution definitely, that's the supreme law of the land.
Right.
Right. You cannot pass Sharia law. It would be a violation of the of our Constitution and our amendments, our Bill of Rights. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
It would be a huge violation of our Bill of Rights. And so, Sharia law just has no place in this country, and if people want to come to this country, they need to assimilate to be an American.
Right. Because
that's what we are. And if they want to create their own little enclave in this country and abuse the freedoms that we enjoy and that we give everyone else, all right, to take away their freedoms, because that's exactly what Sharia law does, is
Yes.
It takes away freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
Right.
believe in that. We believe in giving people the right of free speech, the right to the Second Amendment. We believe all of the beautiful amendments in the Bill of Rights, okay? And all of those are individual protections.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharia law just doesn't work there. So absolutely not.
Amen. Amen.
I don't know, man.
Andrew, I have a question. If the Constitution is blocking the application of Sharia law, how do you feel about the proposed Convention of States to amend the Constitution? Does that not open it up to anything can happen?
Well, I have not studied the Convention of States, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's Article 5. But it has to be, if we're going to have a Convention of States, and we've never had one, then it has to be very specific. All right, and the states have to pass. I think 38 states have to pass, legislation to have a Convention of States. But it just doesn't open up, and you can do anything and everything in the Constitution. It has to be passed in a way that it is very specific to a particular issue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what would constrain it then. But I mean, I don't see that as necessary right now. We have the Republican trifecta.
Right.
President Trump is doing an amazing job. All right. And and we're going to protect and defend our Constitution. We're going to take back what we've lost through some federal legislation in years past. I mean, just like what we did with the Second Amendment, you know, in the National Firearms Act of 1934. You know, we eliminated the taxation of a constitutional right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been going on for 90 years, but you know what? We were successful in doing it. And now the Democrats want to use, you know, this upcoming funding battle, you know, the end of the year, when the government runs out of money, and we need a continuing resolution, or we need a budget, one of the two. But at this point, it's going to be a continuing resolution for about 7 weeks. And the Democrats, you know, want to shut down the government. They want to have a Schumer shutdown, because it's the Senate that, you know, the House, we have passed our legislation. We passed the continuing resolution, and we sent it over to the Senate. And the Senate is going to bring that bill up on Monday or Tuesday of next week. And we're going to see if Chuck Schumer and 7 Democrats want to vote for it. And if they don't want to vote for it, then they will be responsible for a government shutdown. But beware, let me tell you what's going to happen if we go to a government shutdown. It's not going to be like any shutdown we've ever seen before. You know, Russ Vought is the OMB director. He's on our side.
Amen.
And shows it, you know, and obviously we have the executive. And when you go to a shutdown like that, we literally give the power of the purse from Congress to the executive.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore, it will now be up to the president what stays open and what doesn't. And one of the things that Russ said is, you know, all these Democrat programs that we think should not be funded, they will not be funded during a government shutdown. And when the government reopens, they will still not be funded. They will literally be eliminated. Those people will not come back. They will be fired. You know, if they want to go to a shutdown, then we're going to make a skinnier government.
Hey,
I love that idea.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's get rid of the DMV. Can we do that?
Andrew, could you go back and explain to our listeners why we need 60 votes in the Senate to get a vote on that?
Sure. It's the Senate filibuster. You know, the House is a simple it's driven by a simple majority. All right. But the Senate does not work that way. The Senate has a filibuster in it, and it requires 60 votes to do what they call end debate. It's called cloture. And we only have 53 Republicans. So there needs to be 7 Democrats to vote to end cloture and go to a vote on the House floor. I'm sorry, not the House, the Senate floor, which would only be a majority vote on the Senate floor. Okay, so the cloture vote is where the Democrats think they have leverage and can hold our government and literally the entire American people hostage, because what they want is they want to eviscerate all of the good Republican wins that we got in the One Big Beautiful Bill. You know, when it comes to Medicaid, we kicked all illegal aliens off of Medicaid, like 1.4 million of them. And the Democrats want to reverse that. And they want all these illegal aliens back on Medicaid, you know, at the cost of billions and billions of dollars to the American taxpayer. And I'm sorry, but this government under Republican control is not illegal aliens first. It's Americans first, and illegal aliens out of the country. That's what this government is. But that's not, you know, the Democrats aren't in charge. They want Americans last and illegal aliens first.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we talked about this yesterday. And I mean, I'm saying, look, people don't realize it. We're at war with the left. I mean, they are out shooting and all this rhetoric, calling people Nazis, Gestapo, street police. I mean, it's
slave police.
Slave police. And they're just getting, you know, they're opening the doors for these people. Say, well, they're Nazis. It ain't gonna matter if we kill them. I mean, it's getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, at what point do we draw a line in the sand and say, hey, enough's enough?
Well, that's what has to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen assaults on ICE officers, and you know, up 1,000%.
That's crazy.
And it's a direct result of the Democrat, you know, talking points and the Democrat rhetoric when they call agents, like you said, slave patrols, secret police, Nazi Gestapo, you know, fascists. When they start using violent rhetoric like that, and rhetoric that demeans and dehumanizes people, then there will be crazies on the far left that will take them seriously and go, oh, well, okay, well, they're not really human. They don't deserve to live anymore. Right. Therefore, by bullet or by ballot, like you said.
Right. Right.
And these folks choose by bullet. And we have seen attempted assassinations, and we have seen murders. We have seen assassinations. And this has to stop. And the Democrats are totally, responsible for creating this type of an atmosphere.
Yeah, Congressman Clyde, what you just said brings up another question I had. One of the Democrats in question, Ilhan Omar, was up for a censure and potential removal, from all of her committee posts. That lost by one vote. I don't know if you can, if you're comfortable opining as to Corey Mills and why he voted to table. But it seems to me like someone who claims to be a Bronze Star recipient, even if he's up to his own censure motion, should go ahead and jump on that grenade and do what's right. I don't know if you're able to comment on that or if you're willing to, but what's your thought?
I agree. I was very disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually spoke to him personally.
Did you?
And I said, what's going on? And, and he said, well, I guess there was a deal that if he voted against the
censorship,
the bill, well, it was actually a tabling motion.
Right.
All right. The Democrats wanted to table it, and we did not want to table it. We wanted it to go forward, at least to debate.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then for a vote on the actual censure itself. And he voted to not table it, or no.
He voted table.
To table it, excuse me. Right. He voted to table it. And I think that was a very self-serving vote. And I was very disappointed in that. Here we have 4 Republicans that couldn't vote to go to debate.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We wouldn't even allow that. And I was just so disappointed in that. Yeah. And honestly, I hope that their districts hold them accountable, because that was the wrong vote. It was the wrong thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go back to the ICE thing. I don't know if y'all seen that, where the guy said that they need to change the Immigrations and Custom Enforcement Agency to the National Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. That way the
nice.
Nice.
That's great. That is brilliant.
These nice agents arrested. So
I heard their new logo is going to be a little smiley face too. Have a nice day.
You need to do that. I mean, I'm behind that. Nice.
I love that. That was great.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, Mr. Clyde, I've got a question for you too, and it relates to some of these interesting characters in Congress with you there. But AOC, she gets a lot of media, lots. She's made herself nationally known. And again, this might be something that you can't actually comment on or don't want to, but from how you're all out there on the floor and you're listening to her, how do you all as Congress people actually see her? We see how the media portrays her as some kind of hero of the left and, a legitimate person that's apparently brilliant in their mind. But do you all seriously take her seriously? That's my question. It is on the floor.
I can answer that.
I mean, seriously. I mean, you've got friends on the left and the right. Is she literally considered a legitimate leader that has a chance, for example, to make a real run for the presidency, or is she a giant eye roll, behind the scenes to you all?
Well, I would
use the word allegedly a lot, Andrew.
Definitely allegedly think she's an idiot.
That covers it every time.
Yeah.
When someone has influence in Congress, you do need to take them somewhat seriously. Because remember, there's 435 of us, so each of us are literally worth, a quarter of 1% of what it takes, or in Congress. Or since it's 218 to pass a bill, it's half of 1%. So you have to be able to work with others, and you have to be able to, get consensus together and move in one direction. And that's part of why it's called Congress, And so she's radical left. She's crazy as a bat. All right. And
that's a nicer word than I would have chosen.
Yeah.
just listen to her.
Oh, we don't.
But there's a lot of crazy as a bat on the left. Okay. There's just a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just listen to what they say and listen to the vitriol that comes out from them. And it's a terrible thing when you can garner a whole bunch of folks together that think that same way, which is why we have to keep the majority. We cannot allow them ever to be in the majority with this kind of craziness and lunatic speech and vitriol and dehumanizing speech. People say, why can't you work together? Well, I'm sorry, what they're spewing is pure evil. Right. We can never partner with pure evil. That cannot happen.
Well, I'm with you. We're running out of time. I want to make one more point. Joy Reid, she's just constantly on the, and she's comparing white people and black people. She always does that. And she's suggesting that J.D. Vance got into Yale because they were tired of just letting white men from New York in. So they wanted to bring in Appalachian white men, which would be rednecks. And that's the way J.D. Vance got in there. And we see how he turned out. I mean, I think it ought to be mandatory that these elite colleges have to let at least 100 rednecks a year in, period. I think that would change everything. I mean, if they ain't got a 4-wheel drive, you know what I'm saying, with Hank Jr. blaring, you're not allowed in. I mean,
I think these elite colleges, number one, we need to cut off government funding to them. All right. That's just, Harvard has now over a $50 billion endowment, billion with a B, $1 billion endowment. They don't need a solitary cent of federal money, nothing. In fact, most of these elite colleges and universities have billions of dollars in their endowments. I'm sorry, not a dime of federal government money. That's your taxpayer dollars, by the way.
Oh, we know.
Should be going to these entities. All right. And when the left has nothing else to play, they play the race card.
Hey, Andrew, one thing before we go, there's a report that just came out, The Blaze and Yahoo are talking about 274 to 275 plainclothes personnel on January 6th. Can you give us some insight on that? This is kind of hot off the press type stuff, but do you know anything about that?
Plainclothes agents within the crowd, is that what you're saying?
That's what The Blaze is reporting now. And that was apparently... Go ahead.
That's the first time I've actually heard a number pegged to the number of plainclothes folks that were in the crowd. But I have no doubt that there were many, many plainclothes within that crowd. All right. But that's the first time I've actually heard a number put to it. But we will get to the bottom of it. I mean, Barry Loudermilk is the chairman of what's going to be the J6 committee investigation.
Yes.
Okay. Where we're investigating the J6 committee. Okay. And what happened there. So I think Barry's going to do a great job at it.
Amen.
I'd like to get on that committee. Could I send in an application? I'm pretty level-headed.
You've never steered us wrong.
So far, yeah.
No, that's right. That's right.
Hey, Andrew, we appreciate you, man. Yeah. Congressman Andrew Clyde, we support you 100%. And all you folks out there listening, if it wasn't for Andrew, we would be we'd have a mud puddle out here in the lake. So y'all need to think about that when it comes time. So,
well, thank you. Great to always protect Hiawassee, Towns County, Lake Chattooga, all of that. So thank you, gentlemen. Always great to be on WJRB.
Hey, we appreciate you, man.
Andrew. Thank you.
All righty, we're back with you. Hope everybody's doing good. What we giving away, Packy?
All right, we got to do this quick. We're running out of time. We got a $15 gift certificate to Logan Turnpike Mill, my favorite place in Blairsville.
Absolutely. What's your question, Pat?
Question is, what is Dennis the Menace's last name?
Sorry,
what was whose last name?
Dennis the Menace.
Oh, I got that.
Dennis the Menace. Yeah. Menace.
Dennis. Middle name is
what I said. Menace.
Hey, give us a call, 706-379-9770. You can call anywhere in the world because Logan Turnpike Mill will ship to you or anywhere you want to ship.
And they are good.
No doubt about it. So they got all that good stuff out there, no doubt. Hey, we got this one guy says, what was it? Jesse, a corrupt America is how when someone gets punched in the face, they arrest the man that fights back. What you do is you make sure you win, and that way it's not too bad, because the guy that punched you in the face, maybe he gets twice the You know,
Yeah.
yeah. That's like
You
when
saying you take a dive?
well, you know, when I was in school, you got in a fight. My daddy always whooped me at the house, but if I won the fight, I just got one whooping. But if I lost the fight, I'd ended up getting two.
Got two.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's the way I look at it. So,
Okay. Yep, here's a caller.
Got a caller.
Pat, you copped out again on us. You copped out again on us.
so
he
many.
answered the question.
No, you did
Not
not.
I didn't even have to ask. What did he talk about? The vitriol in campaigning, in legislating, the general vitriol in
All right, gotta
America.
jump in here. We got Jeff Knight on the phone.
Hey, Jeff,
Come
what's
on,
going
Jeff.
on, brother?
Oh, just driving down the road.
Hey, that's a good thing. Hey, what about who's Dennis Menace's last name? We're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Mitchell, you are correct.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Jeff, we're sending your name over to Cecilia at Logan Turnpike. Enjoy.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, man. We appreciate everybody commenting, all the folks listening out there. We'll be back Monday morning, bright and early, with a fresh new load of conspiracy theories right here with me and Loophole. And I don't know if Topper's going to be back or not, but
Maybe so.
Topper's a guy with the pretty hair.
Yes.
We know Pat Malone will be there because he ain't
That
got nothing else to do. So, hey, we appreciate y'all.